Earlier on today, I made a video on how you can improve in Black Ops 6 rank play. Just a few things I kind of covered before we continue. We're just about warming up, shooting bots, making sure you're kind of getting ready so that when you do play, you're able to maximize your time. Another thing is just kind of understanding your goal as a player. What are you trying to do? Are you trying to become a pro? Are you trying to have fun with it? Depending what your goal is, so you know how much time to put into improving, because it's very important. Some people are like spending a lot of time trying to improve, and I'm like, what is your goal with this? So it's kind of just understanding your goal. And some people are, you know, trying to get to a top level, but they're not spending time improving. So I think it's good to understand your goal so you know whether it's worth putting time into it and you know what to put time into, because a lot of people don't really know that. So let's carry on. Okay, this is part 2. So like I mentioned, those are the things we kind of went through in part 1, but for part 2 I wanted to kind of go into a bit more detail there. So one thing I always say to people is, to improve as a player, you actually want to raise your floor. So every single player has a floor and a ceiling. A ceiling is essentially what you play like at your best, at your very best, how you play like, and your floor is when you're having your average day or your worst day, how are you playing like? So for example, if I put Dashi in a bronze lobby, his floor as a player will allow Dashi to drop 50 plus kills in a bronze lobby. If I put Dashi in a gold lobby, he will get 50 plus kills because his floor is superior to a gold player. Okay, so his floor as a player is top level. So what you want to do is you want to improve your floor. No matter what level you are, you want to improve your floor. So for me, consistency is one of the most important things as a player. If you can be a player that's consistent, every single game you're consistently dropping numbers, you're consistently having an impact, then you will gradually start to improve your floor and your floor and your floor, and that will naturally raise your ceiling. Okay, so it's not about, if you play 10 games, let's say five's a sample size. If you play 5 games and one of those games you went absolutely crazy, you went 40 and 15 and you were absolutely frying, and then 2 of those games you went negative and 1 game you went neutral, for example, and then whatever the other game, if I look at that, I would say it's a little bit inconsistent. So what I would say is, don't worry about the game you went 40 kills in. Instead of trying to replicate that, let's just worry about the games you were negative in, those 2 games, right? Let's just see what you did differently and what we could do. Were you rushing certain decisions? Were you making bad plays because you were impatient? Just trying to identify what's causing you to have those bad games. Because once you get rid of those bad games and your natural floor improves, you're going to be in such a better spot. And those good games, they can happen. Those are rare. These can happen just because of your skill. But as long as we don't have those bad games, we're in a really good spot. And that's how you become more consistent. The next thing is just, again, splitting your time. One thing I always say to people is, like, if you can, I would recommend recording your gameplay and watching your own VODs back, because you learn so much. Even if you're traveling to work or school, wherever it is, and you watch one VOD a week, you download it on your phone, on your journey, just watch one gameplay a week of yourself, of one map, of Hardpoint. You will learn so much about your gameplay. You can pause it and start to think, why did I do that? Why did I rush that? And you can start to improve your gameplay. For me, it's the most important way to improve. Hope you guys enjoy the tips.